Hi and welcome to Cycle Maintenance Academy. My name is Arek and with me is Felipe from Axalko Cycles, and Felipe came to us from from Spain.
Yep. Basque
Um,
country.
yes, from the Basque Country. Hello, Felipe.
Hello.
Felipe, you've got an amazing product on display here. It's a bike that's essentially made out of wood.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a bit more about this unique frame?
Yeah, it's made about wood, but it isn't. It's made of natural fibers because we would use both very thin layers of wood, and in between we use this laminate of linen. This linen fiber pre-stretched, and in between these very thin layers, we put this linen fiber, and then we mold them into these two different molds. One from the front triangle, one for the rear, and with the bladders inside, we can make the whole bike hollow, and then we join together. That way, we can make the bike both strong and light.
Okay. Can you tell us, a little bit more about the strength? Because visually, when you see a bike that looks like, or the frame that looks wooden, there are certain concerns. Will this be strong enough?
Yeah. But I get it. It looks so nice. It looks like a piece of high-end furniture. And the first time you ride, it's like you're nervous, but it's super strong bike. We've tested both the bike and the material itself, and the laminate between the linen and the wood, the ratio between stiffness, strengthness, and weight is nearly the same as carbon. So it's a super strong bike.
Okay. And could you tell me a bit more about how do you maintain this type of frame? So obviously, compared to steel, aluminium, carbon, from someone point of view that doesn't know much about these type of frames, it would make me think that there is some level of absorption of humidity. Can you explain?
In fact, it isn't. Well, the wood itself is very resistant once it's treated. But the way we make the frames, laminated and with epoxy resin, in fact, it's the same as a carbon frame. You can water pressure it. You can do whatever you want. But it's in terms of humidity, it's the same as a carbon. But in terms of being delicate, it's even less than carbon because the carbon bike can go to the floor and with a rock and get damaged.
Yep.
With this material, it would get a scratch,
Yep.
but it will be only cosmetic.
And could you tell me a little bit about the riding comfort? What does the comfort compare to? Obviously, we have carbon, we have aluminium, we have steel, we have titanium. Does it compare to anything to any of these materials, or does it have its own unique feel?
I think so. It does compare and it doesn't, because I would say it's like a very high-end steel bike that has this sweetness. The amount of absorption would be similar, but the feeling would be different because the steel would be more springy side and this would be more damp side. You imagine you hit the ground with a steel bar and then with a wooden bar. That difference in your hand, that vibration absorption that then naturally the wood has, you can feel when you're riding. It's super comfortable because of this.
And I believe you telling me this from your own experience.
Yeah. Because it happened to me, well, I think happened for most of our customers that before testing it, it's a very nice bike. But once you test, you're doomed. Because for me, it was the same. I knew the bike, press, was so beautiful, but once I tested, I have to buy one. This is the nicest bike. This was before I was working for them.
Yeah.
So I know that I was told yesterday, you are biased. Yeah, I'm biased. But before I was biased, I love that.
And could you tell me a little bit of the history of the bike, of the company, how
Yeah.
this all started? Where did the idea of the let's say sort of wooden frame bike came from?
Yeah, it's funny because it was a bit hold my beer moment. You imagine the artist, the one who developed the bike, a wood artist. He's been doing high-end wood products for many years before, and he was having a beer post-ride with a friend. They start talking, and he start talking about wood, and the other guy says, "Oh, forget about wood. It is impossible to compete with aluminium, carbon fiber." Huh? What are you talking about? Goes home, doesn't tell anybody a thing, not even his parents, his brother who lives with him. Spent 2.5 years developing this bike, new processes, new materials, laminate, and after those 2.5 years, goes out, high performance wooden bike. Huh? What's this? Yeah, it's cool or not?
So he's
yeah.
the proof,
He's the proof. Yeah.
and that's how it all started.
That's how it all started 14 years ago.
Okay.
14 years ago, it was the first proper bike, the first bike that could be ridden.
And where can one test the bike? Obviously, it looks great, but before buying such a unique machine,
Yeah.
obviously you would like to. Do you sell them in the shops or where
We do sell in some shops. We do sell directly, but as I told you, the same that happened to me has happened to many people that they have to test it before. And so what we want, what we are doing, is bringing people to the Basque Country, to where the factory is, know our beautiful roads, beautiful scenery, beautiful cuisine, the best cuisine in the world. Ride our bike, and you'll come home in love with the bike, wanting to buy one.
Sounds like a perfect marketing.
Yeah, it is.
And could you tell us what kind of clientele is this bike kind of designed for? How much does this bike cost? Roughly.
Yeah, roughly.
Let's
Obviously, depending on the kit you want to put in. The frame is 4,700 euros,
Yeah.
and then it depends on what you want to put on. And our clientele is people that are looking behind, because I don't know. You can have a nicer bike for you to look, to touch, to ride, nicer for the planet, but with no compromise. You have as high performance bike as it could be, weight-wise, strength-wise, stiffness-wise, nicer to ride, nicer to look, and nicer for the planet. So that our clientele is people that are looking for that, a bit of extra.
And you mentioned before
Yeah.
that the frame is actually hollow.
Yeah.
How did you achieve that?
Yeah, in fact, the manufacturing process would be quite similar to a carbon bike because we use layers, but instead of carbon, we use both linen and very thin wood layers, and we put it into molds, and we use also bladders. The advantage we have is that we don't need an oven, so the tolerances we have out of the mold are kept because you don't have to heat it up and then cool it down.
Okay. And you've mentioned the price of the frame
Yep.
is for some might feel like quite high, over £4,000. But can you tell us why? There is reflection of this price.
Yeah, we always
How
say
long does it take to make the frame?
it's a lot. Each frame takes 700 process hours. So we always say we give you up the materials It's for free, both the linen and the wood. Just pay us for the hours made. Yeah.
So it basically takes a long time to make.
It takes a lot of time, but once you start focusing on every detail, you can tell where all these hours have gone. It's everything is super well thought and super well executed, and that's a very high level of craftsmanship.
So, in one sentence, if you could answer our viewers, why the hell would you buy a wooden frame?
Because you are buying a bike from the future. I'm 100% sure this is the bike of the future. It's a no compromise bike. Even not no compromise. It's better to ride than any other material, but being nicer to the planet. So this is the future.
Thanks very much for that.
Thank you.
Thanks for sharing your knowledge and all the information with us. Dear viewers, thank you very much for watching, and thank you very much for supporting this channel. Thank you for all your likes, subscriptions, comments, and don't forget that you can support this channel further by becoming a member. It's a great way to support the channel, but also a fantastic way to get some perks just for you. So thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much, Felipe.
Thank you.
And have a lovely day. See you later.
Too.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for that.